Hello. I didn't realize I was recording. Anyway, I'm back. I'm back from my long break. I was very needed. And even though I haven't been making videos, I have been reading. So it is March, the start of March, and I'm going to rapid fire every book that I've read up until this point. Okay, so starting off the year strong, I read Air of Fire, and basically, I'm not going to say what this book is about because it's fourth in a series, but I will say the premise of the series, or maybe it's third. Anyway, the premise of the series is this girl named Selena Sardathian is in this training thing to be the king's assassin because she's the world-renowned assassin, but she's only like 17 years old or 18 maybe. Anyway, it's fun. The whole series is very fun, it's thick, but I think I gave this a good 5 or 4 stars. I liked it. Maybe 4.5. Next book I read, I have the physical book and I read the physical book, but I'm lending it to my mom because she needs to read it. So yeah, it's not here. But I read Hidden Pictures and I read it in 2 days. It was so good. It was so good. Basically horror novel where this girl is going to babysit a kid who lives in a affluent family. They're kind of rich, but there's something wrong with him. She thinks he's possessed because he's drawing photos that are way better than a little kid could draw. That's the premise. Really good. Okay, next one I read this honker, Queen of Shadows. It was good. I think I rated this one 5 stars. Basically, same premise as Air of Fire, same series. But I really liked this one. Let's just say, go into this, if you're going to read this series, it's huge. Go into that knowing that it's huge. It's like 8 books long. But anyway, I read this. And I really like the fae aspect. I don't read a lot of fae books, so yeah. Okay, next I read Cleat. This one was cute. Nothing particularly special about it, but I think it was a good 4 stars. It was a fun time. It was a cute book. I liked it a lot, but it was kind of a filler read because in between the Throne of Glass series, I had this coming up. So I was neglecting the series because I didn't want to go to the next one because it was a little much for me. So I read Cleat, quick one. It was good. It was cute. I forgot to say, Cleat is about 2 girls on a soccer team, like a professional soccer team. They're kind of rivals because they're competing for a spot on the national team, basically. But I think that's all I want to say. But you know what? Rivals to lovers. Alright, I don't feel like grabbing it, but next I read Macbeth. That one was for school. It was actually pretty good, honestly. I'd rate it 3.5 stars. I don't love reading books for school. It always kind of kills my vibe. It kind of, not my favorite thing. But I actually really liked Macbeth, and I actually understood it, which I didn't think was going to happen because I read Romeo and Juliet and was like, no, I don't understand. I understood a little bit. Obviously, I get the premise. But as we were reading it as a class, which is literally my worst fear, reading as a class, I hate reading out loud. As we were reading it, I was like, I don't really know what's going on. And then the teacher would be like, okay, so did you guys get that section? I'd be like, no. And then she had to explain it. But I had the No Fear Shakespeare version of Macbeth, which I didn't have Romeo and Juliet. And I think it made a big difference because it has the translation into more modern English of what what Shakespeare's trying to say in Macbeth, which made a lot more sense, and I actually enjoyed it. And Macbeth, I feel like people know what Macbeth is about, but I'll say this dude named Macbeth gets a prophecy that he's going to become king, so he starts doing egregious things in order to become king and fulfill the prophecy, and that is what it's about. Okay, now I read Dead Poets Society on my Kindle from the library, like I was gonna say. And it was good. It was really sad. I think it was a 4 star for me. I read it fast because it's short. It's nearly 100 or 200 pages. But basically what it's about is this group of teenage boys, kind of in an all-boys school, get a new English teacher, and he inspires them to love literature and start a club reading poetry in a cave. It's fun. It's cute. It's sad. I was like in the shower washing my hair, and then I was like, oh my god, I know what's gonna happen. And then I sat down and I read and I read and I read and I got to the part and I was like, I knew it was gonna happen. So like it wasn't like shock factor, but it was like, oh my god. So if you don't, I mean, I kind of like not shy, like sad books. They're not my favorite genre, but like I don't shy away from them, whereas some people do. So if you're interested. And then we watched the movie, me and my friends, and that was fun. Side note, after reading Macbeth and watching Dead Poet Society and reading Dead Poet Society, it made me want to read A Midsummer Night's Dream. Should I read that? I don't know if I want to read Shakespeare just on my own. Like, am I pretentious? Is that even the word? Do I think I'm sophisticated if I read Shakespeare not for school? But I kind of want to, so we'll see what happens. Okay, next, I tandem read. So in the Throne of Glass series, when you get to books 6 and 7, I think. Yeah, 6 and 7. These babies are a tandem read, which means... Oh, let me grab the thing. Okay, sorry. I made these bookmarks, which are the tandem read, and basically, I color-coded what chapters to read. So this one, it says, read the beginning part called Nightfall through chapter 5 of this book. And then you read chapter 1 of this book. And then you read 6 through 8 of this book. And then you read 2 through 3 of this book. And I did that. And I cannot believe it. It was the most daunting thing I've ever had to do. But it was fun. It was honestly a lot of fun. I was so scared for it. Like, I don't even know why I was scared. Like, what? It's 2 books. I'm scared of it. But it was fun. It was fun. Took forever. It honestly took a really, really long time, which it makes sense because this is 1,200 pages about. Approximately 1,200 pages. But I liked... Oh, this is a hard one. A lot of people say they don't like Tower of Dawn as much. I think I liked it a little more. I don't know. I liked them both. I think they're both like 5 stars for me. 4.55 stars. I really enjoyed them. I had a grand old time. It kind of flew by. Like, it felt like I was reading them forever. But now looking back, it's like, what? Was it like February when I finished these? Let me check. Yeah, I finished these in February. And I had read all those books before it, January, February. So, I don't know how I did this and I still have more books to come. But anyway, these were good. This one and this one are happening at the same time on different continents with different characters. So it's a lot of people to follow. Like, actually a lot. But yeah, different continents, which is very interesting. And I don't know why she wrote it like that. And at first I was annoyed because I love going on a walk, taking my book with me, and then finding a bench. I go to the same bench. Going to my bench, and reading my books out in the nature and listening to an audiobook while I walk until I get there. Anyway, so I would have to bring both of these huge books in my bag and break my freaking back. Also, when I'd go to school, I'd have to be like, okay, so I'm going to be reading 49 through 51 of this book so I can bring it. And hopefully I don't get to the next one so that I can't read this one. So part of that was really annoying. But it was fun. Okay, enough about the tandem read, okay. I'm still proud of myself for doing that, though. Anyway, then I read Station 11, which I read on my Kindle. I'll put a little picture. Station 11 was really, really good. I liked it a lot. It's post-apocalyptic. Wow, that was really hard for me to say. Post-apocalyptic. Oh my gosh, you get the point. But not like zombies. Like, you're reading it, and at the very start, a guy dies on stage in a performance of King Lear, which, hooks you in. And then after that, like people are just rapidly dropping like flies, dying from this Georgia flu. And then you're kind of, there's a time jump, and there's the traveling symphony, and basically there's these people who came together and they travel around different parts of the continent, North America, I think. And they perform Shakespeare and music for survivors of this flu, and it's an interesting concept, and I liked it. I think this one's still like a 4-star one for me too, because I really liked it, but I don't know, it was kind of crazy. It was like there's this prophet. If you read it, you'll get it. It's good. It's also a TV show if you want to watch that. I think I'm gonna make my friend watch it with me. Okay, next I read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. And I was thinking, who am I, a classics major? Like, why am I reading 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea? And you wanna know why? It's because I read the book All the Light We Cannot See, which was really good, by the way. Like, really good. That one's like a 5-star. You should read that. And All the Light We Cannot See, in it, a blind French girl gets the Braille books of it. And she just made it seem so fun. And so I was like, okay, my turn. And I actually was like, I wish I could read it in Braille. I can't read Braille, and I actually wish I could. Like, is that a skill that I should go out and try to learn? Like, I tried to learn some ASL. Like, I know A, B, C. Don't need to get into it. I know the ABCs. But yeah, should I go and learn Braille? Is that something you can learn? I also want to learn the Morse code, but that doesn't matter. This is not relevant. Anyway, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea follows 2 men who get kidnapped and trapped on a submarine by Captain Nemo, and they're traveling the whole world under the sea. 20,000 leagues of it. My impression was that there was going to be a giant kraken, giant sea monster type thing. There's not. So keep that in mind, because I was a little disappointed. I'm going to be honest. But there is like a giant octopus moment. So don't be too disappointed. But yeah, I liked it. It was like a 3-star. It was a little bit like, sometimes I was reading it and I was like, okay, I'm reading a scientific journal. Why am I reading nonfiction about whales? And, you know, that might be some people's thing, but not mine. So I was kind of like, okay, get to it. But when they were like doing their crazy adventures, that was fun. I liked it. So, decent. 3-star. I would say if you want to read it. Like, we had read a little bit of like 80 Days Around the World in French class, but like in French, so I didn't understand a thing. Okay, next I went with my dad to the library and I rented Win, Lose, Kill, Die. Really quick, small book. I kind of needed just like a quick one. I was obviously, so there's one book after this. Right here. Big. Really, really big. And as you can tell, I'm reading it. It's huge. So I had to read a bunch of books in between, because I was like, I can't do that. I can't just go straight from that to that. It's just too much. So anyway, I've been reading a bunch of kind of small books. That one's a thriller. Win, Lose, Kill, Die. Yeah, that's the name. Basically follows this kind of prep school type vibe, and the head girls keep dying. So like within the first head girl, she drowns. The second head girl, you know, that happens right at the start. And I was actually surprised, within like a small amount of time, a few people died, and I was like, what the heck? Anyway, on the back of the book it says head girl, dead girl. So basically, you kind of, it's a mystery on why, who's killing them. The ending I didn't expect. I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't expect it. But also I wasn't like, oh my god. Like, I've read much better thrillers. So, you know, it was fun. I would give it like a 3-star because honestly, I keep thinking about it. Like, I'm just driving and I just think about it. And I just kind of liked the vibe. I don't know what it was about it, but I kind of liked that vibe. So, anyway, yeah, I kind of just liked that, like, prep school murder. So, if you know any prep school murder books that I should read, tell me. I read A Secret History. That is very prep school murder, and I loved it. So, yeah, tell me more. I want to read. Tell me more. Okay, I want to read If We Were Villains, and I think that gives that vibe. Yeah. So, anyway, next book. Last book of the month is the month of February. Is Death of a Salesman. Read it for school. And 2 stars. Actually, I have it up there. Oh, wait, I have it over there. I just don't want to get it. Bright yellow neon book. Okay, it's not a bad book. It's not a bad book. Just the ending is, like, unsatisfying. And the whole time, it's just a little confusing. Like, I knew what was happening, but we're jumping in between timelines. Boom, chicken. And I'm like, girl, what's going on? I'm trying to follow it. And I'm like, huh? And you have to really think. And sometimes I just don't want that. And it's like this big, like 2-act, tiny 200-page book. But why did it take me so long to read? So anyway, the ending was, I feel like we could have wrapped it up happily. We did not. No. So read it if you want. Probably read it for school, not for your own, like, enjoyment, but to each their own. Also, it's a play, so I'd much rather watch it. I love plays. I'd much rather watch it. With Macbeth, we watched the movie and read it, so that, like, was fun. It was immersive. We are on to our final book. It is March. It's not very far into March. We're about a week into March, so I'll grab her because I love her. Okay, I had to do some major maneuvering to get this book because it's up there on the sad section. Books that'll make me cry section. Anyway, here she is. You probably saw her. She's beautiful. The Song of Achilles. This was maybe my favorite book of the year. I mean, I'm kind of fresh off the high of it because I just finished it, you know? But this is so beautiful. Okay, I'll tell you what it's about. My 5-star read. It's a retelling about Achilles and Patroclus. That is quite a tongue twister. Patroclus. Yeah, Achilles and Patroclus. And it's a little love story. They're in love. But also, like, if you know anything about Greek mythology, you know that Achilles needs to fight in the War of Troy, so we get to see that stuff. It's beautifully written. It's just beautiful. Oh, it's just gorgeous. And I sobbed. Shoot, maybe I'll insert an embarrassing video of me crying at the end, or some embarrassing pictures of me crying at the end, because there were plenty. Because I was dying at the end. Like, I knew it was sad, and I knew it was coming too. Like, I was prepared. I was mentally locking in. I was like, this is a sad book. I'm ready for it. Like, I'm locking in. And so I was like, I literally got cut off in the middle of my rant because I got a call. Anyway, this book is so good. I don't know what I was talking about. I do not remember what I was talking about before, but the ending had me absolutely dead. I was listening to the All Too Well 10-minute version by Taylor Swift, which I'm not a Swiftie. Like, I'm not, but that song, like, it just fit them. And also, I was watching edits on TikTok, embarrassing. and crying, like sobbing my eyes out, crying, and just thinking about the lines. The last page of the book. Okay. So I say it's sad, and some people may think that means it's unsatisfying ending, but it was like so satisfying. Like I can read this last page, not to you, to myself, and I just feel like this is it. Some people didn't like the ending, I think. I'm not one of those people, and I don't believe those people. The book, like, it's a sad ending. It's a sad song. I saw Hades Town recently, and it was so good. I'm in my Greek mythology era because I read this as I saw Hades Town, the musical, the junior edition. It was amazing. It's a sad song. It's a sad book. But I would never regret reading it. I never regret reading it, and I don't think anyone else should not read it because it's sad. Because it's sad, it almost like deterred me because people were like, no, it's so sad. Like, I literally stopped for the 4 hours. And I'm like, okay, so do I not want that in my life? But I did. I needed it in my life, actually. And I just look at this last page. Don't make me cry right now. So, finally, we're to the end of the video, and I'm just going to give you a wrap up on what I'm currently reading, because, why not? I'm currently reading The Miseducation of Cameron Post. Pretty decent through it. And Kingdom of Ash, and pretty decent through it too. I'm 29% through this one, and I'm 50% through this one. I have the Fable app, so I just enter what page I'm on, and it will tell me what percent I'm through. And I actually really, really enjoy that. Yeah, so I have not been able to put this one down, and I have been reading this one, but it's intimidating. To be honest, it's intimidating, and it's huge, and it breaks my wrists. And I'm on chapter 34. And this one, I can't put down. I'm on chapter 14. And they actually, literally, I stay up. Okay, this sounds dumb, because it is. Literally, I cannot stay awake past 8 o'clock. Like, I have been fatigued my whole entire life, ever since I got sick, and I have not been able to stay awake past 8:30. And I'm like, okay, Grandma, time to get to bed. 8:30. My friend wanted to come out over at 7 o'clock, and I said, no, it's my bedtime. And he said, 7? And I said, 7? Like, it's my bedtime. I gotta get ready for bed. Granny's gotta sleep. Nothing wrong with it. I don't know why. I will be reading, I'll be watching a movie, I'll be watching a show on my phone, and I'll literally be like, and I'm like, why am I torturing myself? Just go to sleep. Even though it's 8 o'clock, just go to sleep. But the other night, I was reading this, and I was like, and then it was 10 o'clock, and I was like, oh my gosh, I stayed up till 10 o'clock. I haven't done that in like 2 weeks. 10 o'clock is not late. I mean, like, it's not early by any means, but it's not late enough that you shouldn't be able to, that it should be an accomplishment to stay up that late. But this kept me up that late, which I'm surprised. Anyway, this one, last book in that huge series following Selena Sardathian, the assassin for the king, possibly. She's trying to become it in this deadly challenge. And there's 8 million books, so where does it go from there? Because clearly there's a lot more storyline than that. Like, a lot. But, you have to read it to find out, obviously. And this one is a lesbian girl, and she's being sent to conversion therapy. Which, I just got to that part, so I'm actually very interested, and I think I'm gonna go read it now. So bye. Thanks for watching. Okay, it's the next day, and as promised, I'll insert the really bad videos of me crying, okay? And photos, okay? In my soul.
Alright.
This is
I
sick.
hope you're happy.
And twisted.
I hope you're happy.
I can't do this.